simplest PC building mistakes I see out there is that when people have a modular power supply, they throw away their extra modular power supply cables.
Don't ever do that. Hold on to these because you never know when you might want to upgrade.
Like in the case of this system where a customer wants to go from a 3090 up to a 5090, but there ain't no way you're powering this card with just two 8-pins that are pigtailed. And what I mean by pigtailed is that there's actually one cable going back to the power supply, then it comes down and actually gets split into two connectors.
And that power connection right there is limited to a maximum of about 300 watts.
When this shiny new card needs about 600 watts to power it. That ain't gonna cut it, even though this 1000-watt power supply should be able to handle it. But with no longer having all those extra modular power supply cables, we're stuck with half the amount of power we need for this splitter.
Which could have been avoided by just holding onto those cables.
And the reason why something like this is usually a really big deal is that most modular power supply manufacturers don't sell their cables aftermarket, nor should you ever take them from another power supply and try to plug them into yours, as the cables are not always the same even between the same manufacturer. That's how you blow your system up. Trust me, I've seen it.
Which can sometimes put you out of luck in these situations,
forcing you to replace your power supply. Fortunately for our customer, there are some brands like Corsair that will sell an aftermarket cable that connects to the new 12+ 4-pin on these 5090s for a pretty penny. Like this cable cost about 30 bucks, which I guess is nothing when you're spending $2,000 on a GPU. But at least we have a solution. But before we get our new card installed, this system is filthy. I mean, just look under this power supply. So let's take this PC out back and blow it out. That's a lot better. So let's go ahead and disconnect power from our GPU. This way we can get it unscrewed and removed. Then to get our GPU installed, we need to do a couple things, including removing this old 8-pin from our power supply, which I ended up finding out wasn't even screwed in, which is actually going to work to our benefit to make plugging in that new cable that much easier.
And yes, I am screwing in that power supply.
This way we can take this massive GPU and get it slotted into place. And massive may be an understatement here, because when we add power here, it just barely clears the side panel. With that said, we can now go ahead and fire the system up to see that everything fires up with absolutely no problems installing the latest GPU driver. So with this old 3090 out, our brand new 5090 in, just remember, don't throw away your old modular power supply cables.